He set fire to their home and walked away as they screamed. The neighbour guilty of murdering 2 generations of the same family. Fatoumata Haidra and her young daughters were asleep when the flames took hold, leaving their family suffering because of the senseless actions of one man.
His actions were utterly heartless and cruel, and have caused a multi-generational trauma that we will never understand.
Also tonight, Partygate investigations reopen over allegations of breaches at a Christmas party in 2020 at Tory HQ. Thames Water's reckless sewage spill that killed hundreds of fish lands them a £3 million fine. Our undercover investigation into puppy yoga reaches Parliament as MPs join calls for it to be banned. And a spot of 90s nostalgia for you. Ant and Dec announced Biker Grove's getting a reboot.
It's obviously a show very close to our hearts, the show which gave us our breaks, so we couldn't be more excited.
This is the ITV Evening News with Charlene White.
Good evening. A man whose wife and 2 young children were murdered in an arson attack says his family has suffered a multi-generational trauma which we'll never understand. Fatoumata Haidra and her daughters Fatima and Naima, aged 3 and 1, died after their Nottingham home was set alight last November. They were killed by their neighbour, Jamie Barrow, who claimed he thought no one was inside when he poured petrol through their letterbox. But a court heard he did nothing when he heard screams coming from inside. After a jury found Barrow guilty of murder, Fatoumata's husband said she had a pure heart and said the girls were angels. From Nottingham Crown Court, here's our Midlands correspondent, Ben Chapman.
1-year-old Naima and her 3-year-old sister Fatima. 2 happy little girls who died together with their mother, Fatoumata Haidra, in the most horrific circumstances. Last November, their father returned home from working abroad, having been told his wife and daughters had been killed in a devastating fire, started deliberately by their neighbour.
Words cannot quantify how much our family have suffered because of the horrific actions of one man. His actions were utterly heartless and cruel, and have caused a multi-generational trauma that we will never understand.
The emergency services had arrived that night to find the flat engulfed by orange flame, the street filled with smoke. The fire had been started by Jamie Barrow, who afterwards was more concerned about getting back into his flat.
Yeah, can I nip in and get some waterproof gear?
I wouldn't, mate, to be honest.
Is it that bad?
He knew very well how bad it was because he'd poured petrol through the letterbox and set it alight. He also knew that this door was the only way out of the flat. CCTV shows how quickly the flames took hold, the gardens lighting up as the flat caught fire. As he walked away, Barrow would have heard the girls screaming, but did nothing to help.
At this point in time, I'm going to place you under arrest for murder.
Police don't know why he started the fire, but think Barrow, who had a personality disorder, may have had a grudge against the family about rubbish bags left outside the flat. A number of their relatives and friends were at court to support a father as he remembered his girls and his wife.
If love and compassion could make a person immortal, she would have lived forever. She was most incredible mother to Fatima and Naima, 2 angels who deserve a very beautiful childhood and a full life.
When they died, his wife and daughters were about to join him in America, where he was working, to start a new life. But they were robbed of that future together. This was initially recorded as a hate crime, but in truth, it remains a mystery why Barrow did it. He told the jury here that fires helped him to relieve stress. The prosecution put forward a number of theories, from he wanted to be rehoused to he was frustrated living next to a noisy family. Whatever his motive, he'll be sentenced here on Friday for what the police have called a senseless crime.
Thanks very much, Ben.